My name is David Harrison Greis. Welcome to the Greis Report, your unfiltered daily voice for truth. I am at a loss for words with just how accelerated the timeline has become. The Trump empire, they are basically destroying everything in their path that they could possibly get their hands on. So the first story tonight, I really want to focus on this particular video that I saw just this morning. It's from ABC7 Los Angeles. So here's the way that the story goes. In Van Nuys, Los Angeles, there was about 11 a.m. It was on Tuesday. There were a group of armed and masked ICE agents, Gestapo, that swarmed around a car. They were pointing guns at the car, as you'll see in the video. And you'll hear in the video as well them talking about the fact that two of the people who were abducted were green card holders and the other a U.S. citizen. This is what happens when the Supreme Court lifts the ban on racial profiling. And yes, I understand it might not legitimately say racial profiling, but the end result of allowing those roving immigration raids is racial profiling. So let's look at the video and you can make a decision from there.
Out of the car now!
With weapons drawn, federal agents walked toward the driver's side of this red vehicle in a Van Nuys parking lot. Luis tells us he was in the area when he saw what was happening and began to film.
That's when I saw this chaos, guns drawn, everything. The girl was there screaming like, why are you guys pointing guns at us? Like, we're not doing anything. That's when they got close. They break the window, they dragged the guys out. And then the female, she said she was pregnant, but they were just, all these guys gang up on her.
A man who identified himself as a friend of some of the people in the car did not want to go on camera, but said the two men are lawful permanent residents and that the woman is a U.S. citizen. On the passenger side, an agent points his gun at a woman who said, "If you touch me, I'm suing you." She then steps out of the car. This comes one day after the Supreme Court lifted a federal judge's temporary ban on the Department of Homeland Security's so-called roving patrols.
So just imagine it. You're driving with your friends, with your family. Group of masked men with guns jumps out of an unmarked van and starts screaming for you to get out. You're a U.S. citizen and a masked man with a gun is, in your face screaming, "I'm going to shoot you if you don't get out of the car." That's not okay. The woman was pregnant and she's a U.S. citizen and he's got a gun in her face. What kind of human beings are these? They're not humans. They're monsters. And the Supreme Court has allowed for this to happen. So to anybody who's listening out there, please make sure to direct your anger at the Supreme Court for this particular incident because this happened as a result of their decision. So if you like what you're hearing so far tonight, please remember to like, subscribe, and down here I have an email address, thegreisreport@gmail.com. Again, that's thegreisreport@gmail.com. Please send us any tips, leads, story requests. We're always happy to interact with our followers because you all make the show what it is. And please remember, if you're a new watcher, please hit that subscribe button because it goes really far in helping us to get the word out. Our metrics show it, and it's really appreciated because we want to make sure that we have friends everywhere. So let's move on with the show. So you know how I've been talking a lot of bluster about the ICE Gestapo coming to New York and what's going to happen if they come here because we don't want them here. Guess what? They came here and they're not having a good time of it. So yesterday, being Tuesday, September the 9th, in Rochester, New York, a gang of masked ICE Gestapo came out, guns drawn, for one dude named Chino. And this guy is a hard worker, pays his taxes, he's expecting children, and he's a skilled roofer. He's doing his job, and these people roll up on him, try to abduct him. But guess what New York does? About 100 patriots come out and we're like, get the hell away from this man. Get the hell out of here. Yelling Gestapo, yelling shame, pushing them, slashing their tires, fighting back. I don't advocate for any kind of violence, but I will say that what they did was effective in causing them to retreat. New Yorkers don't want you here, ICE. We don't want you here. We want to protect our friends and neighbors because that's what we do in New York. We are New York strong. You are Gestapo weak. You're a bunch of punks and cowards, and that's all you'll ever be. Todd Lyons, Greg Bavino, homunculus Tom Holman. You're all a bunch of sadistic MFers. Really, F all of you. All right, last story of the night. Every legal victory that we could possibly get is overturned within a matter of days. Does this mean we should stop fighting? No. It means we should keep fighting and fight harder. So, as you know, I celebrated on this show a couple of weeks back, or a couple of days back even, that the Posse Comitatus Act was actually violated in California by Donald Trump, as presided by Judge Breyer. Now, this is an issue because Judge Breyer didn't actually tell them to leave. He just said that you broke the Comitatus Act. That's it. As a result of this, the Trump administration has been able to appeal it. And now a 3-judge panel has put a stay on the ruling that said it was a breaking of the Posse Comitatus Act, and is now allowing at least 300 National Guard members to stay in Los Angeles and act as law enforcement while it's playing out in court. You know what's coming up within the next 90 days? Elections. There's some big elections happening in California, and the National Guard and the ICE Gestapo are going to be there. Still think we have free and fair elections in America? That doesn't mean you should stay home. You need to get out and vote. The midterms are going to be super important. This is a local election. It's not the midterms, but next year is going to be even worse with all this. But you got to make sure that you get out and vote. Use your voice, use your words, use your power. We are the people of the United States of America, and we have the power. Donnie, you don't. You don't have any power. You only have the power that we allow you. And I think the tides are starting to turn. The resistance is rising. My name is David Harrison Greis. This has been the Greis Report. Have a great night.